Hi there. I thought I'd do a quick review of a recent build that I've done. It's the DeAgostini Valentino Rossi's MotoGP Yamaha YZR-M1 quarter scale. It's a full kit. I went looking across the internet to sort of get an idea of the scale, the size of this, what it was like before I purchased it. I found lots of obviously details, videos of it being built, but nothing really given an honest review after it's been built and sort of probably the sort of challenges etc. that you have during the build. So I've taken various pictures and I'm going to discuss things a bit more whilst I show you a series of photos which go from the point where I've added the frame to the engine right up to the completed finished bike. There, obviously, as I get towards the end, I'll start going on to some of the things to watch out for, I guess, if anyone's considering doing this. Okay, let's get on with it. As you can see, you start with lots of boxes. The actual bike itself is made of die-cast metal. It has ABS plastic and thermoplastic rubber. It's very big. The overall dimensions is 54 centimeters in length. It's just under 30 centimeters in height and 18 centimeters width. And the approximate weight is about 4.5 kilograms. Comes as 24 packs, which is 92 stages, which is 325 pages. Virtual pages, because obviously it's across the internet, the instructions. You can subscribe. Or you can go for the full kit. That's obviously an individual choice. Obviously the subscription is over a 2-year period. The kit, really how quick you want to do it. There's plenty of videos, as I mentioned on the intro, out there, but I wanted to actually do a review because there are things I think folk ought to know if they're going to take on this and build this. So it's taken me probably 5 days to build. This is the 6th day. I'm mostly actually now doing the review. All instructions are online. It actually is quite good. If you have a computer at your work desk, it saves on space. It gives you more room for the actual build because it's on the internet. Quality, I can't fault the quality. The quality is absolutely superb. The attention to detail, a mix of die-cast and ABS plastics is absolutely spot on. It's just right. Any more metal in there, you'd struggle to lift it. Seriously, it's very heavy. The decals and quality of the parts, awesome. Detailed down to the smallest of parts as well. There are some moving parts. We've got the clutch, we've got the rev, the brakes, the gears, suspension. And as I say, this build is extremely heavy when it's finished. During the build, I have had to use some super glue. It does recommend that in the instructions, mostly around the pipes and onto the, I will use the word nipples. I know it's not the word that many countries will use, but in the UK, that's the word. And the other thing I find that the pipes sometimes are not probably the right gauge for when you're putting it in there. So you really do need to put the glue there. As you can see through the pictures that are scrolling through, this has been an awesome build, and hopefully the photos show off the quality as the bike is coming together. I'm just going to let that go through. The bike at this point is probably not far off complete. The fairings are all going on. It's just about to be showcased as the full model with all the finished fairings. But then what I'd like to do, as I say at the start of this, I'd like to, it's all good seeing all the good things about builds, but I think it's very important that you understand some of the challenges you may have, some of the frustrations that may be there as well. So I'll move on to that next. I started by showing a page out of the online instruction for the rear suspension arm. The main part of that is metal. However, there is a plastic cover with 3 small screws, and that attaches to the metal. In my opinion, I don't think that's sufficient. I don't understand why it can't all be metal. And I did have some troubles with that because the load of the suspension itself is screwed into the plastic part which is only screwed in by 3 small screws to the metal. When I tested out the rear suspension, it didn't go too good, so I had to do a little bit of a fix. So is that a fault of the design? I don't know. Could it be improved? Absolutely. So I just want to draw your attention to that one first. Just be cautious of that. I think another part for me was, as this thing's so big and is getting heavier and heavier as you build it, some sort of cradle support for the engine from the start, when you've got it to that kind of stage, would have been really good. Because one of the issues I had is you're forever trying to hold it while you're trying to do something. It falls over, it slips. You know, you could break something off this, and it's not exactly a cheap model to have to break and go, you know, trying to find repair fixes, things like that. The gear selection on it could be better. There's 2 micro switches inside the engine that when you press up and down on the gear change, it gives you a little click. To be honest, he could have done with a spring return that brings the gear lever back to the middle position. I think that could have been better. Could have done with some electrics, to be honest. I'm surprised there wasn't some electrics with it. Probably, you know, a little button that, or maybe when you turn the revs, you know, the engine gives us a rev sound, something like that, or probably a working brake light, but something. There was plenty of scope and opportunity, I think, to put some electrics in it. Certainly something I'll be looking at doing as an add-on to that. I would also just say take some extra care when screwing on the external panels. Very, very easy for the screwdriver to slip and scratch. So, you know, as you do that, go slow and steady when you're putting those on. You should be okay. But do take some care on that. I think really they're the only points. The suspension one's the biggest for me. The other ones, you know, you can kind of live with. You can do your own mods, that kind of thing. I'm going to give you a summary now of how I found the whole experience of the build, and that'll be next. So, would I recommend this bike? Absolutely. Quality, fantastic. Decals, fantastic. Paintwork, everything down to the detail. To give you an idea of size, and it's quite heavy. There we go. That's an absolute awesome beast, and it's going to take pride of place up on my shelf. Well, I hope you enjoyed the review. Hope it covers everything and some of the questions you probably had and things to watch out for. Thank you. Bye.